I just solved a major issue that I've been having with my Z since the SEMA show. Story time. When I trailered the car to SOS Customs back in August, everything was running well, no mechanical issues at all, and everything seemed to be fine. Toward the end of the service at SOS Customs, they contacted me and let me know that the battery was dying and didn't seem to be charging for some reason. I didn't think very much of it at the time because I was already planning on changing the battery to a brand new anti-gravity battery, and I figured I'll just replace the alternator while we do the turbo install. And that's exactly what I did. When we were putting the turbo kit in, we went ahead and swapped out for a brand new alternator, and we got the new anti-gravity battery in there, so I figured my power problems are solved. But as I would come to find out at the SEMA show, my problems were not solved. By the morning of day 3, I realized my car was completely dead in the water, and most critically, I was not able to operate my air suspension system. So this is an issue that had to be solved ASAP. The first thing that came to mind is that this is a great opportunity to test anti-gravity's jump-starting technology that comes with their lithium-ion batteries. There's actually a button right there on the top of the battery that you can press to send a surge into the battery to give you a self-jump start. And sure enough, as soon as I hit that button, the car fired right up. Inside the car, as you can imagine, I was happy as can be. Engine was running, my lights were fired up, air compressors were going as well, everything seemed to be going just fine. I figured now we'll just let the alternator do its thing and charge the battery up for 15-20 minutes, and we should be good to go. We were not good to go. About 5 minutes into charging the car, or so I thought, it completely went dead yet again. Naturally, my mind went right back to the message SOS had sent me about the charging issue. Despite my efforts, I had not solved it. At that point, I knew it was going to take some digging to figure out exactly what was going on, but seeing as though I was at the SEMA show, that is not something I wanted to do at that time. Very fortunately, Anti-Gravity had blessed me with a lithium-ion charger along with the battery when they sent it out to me, and I brought it just in case, and sure enough, I had the perfect reason to use it. I ended up pulling my battery out of my car at the end of every following show day at SEMA, lugging it 30 minutes by monorail back to my hotel room every night, putting it on the charger and bringing it back the next morning, reinstalling it so I would have power each day. It was a hassle, but it worked. It was enough to get power in the car to get it through SEMA, back on the trailer home, and then I could start to diagnose what exactly was going on. Being as though, to my knowledge, everything in the car was working prior to it going to SOS, I had to deduce that the problem must have developed while I was there at the shop. And the only electronics-related service that I had requested of them was to install a PowerTune digital gauge cluster that I had included with the car. And due to time constraints, the digital dash installation was not the highest thing on the list for them. Nevertheless, they did get it installed with basic functionality, although there were some steps to take to get it fully installed. It was installed, and they even went as far as to upholster the specialty mount for the digital dash. And while it definitely looked good at SEMA and gave it that nice modern look I was going for, nevertheless, I had a feeling that sucker was what was causing all my problems. So I pulled it out and replaced it with my OEM cluster. And I won't lie, it was painful because this thing is awesome. It's a full 10-inch display, and SOS upholstered it to match the rest of the upholstery in my car, and it looks amazing. But it had to be done because sure enough, it was the problem. As soon as I disconnected the digital cluster and reinstalled my OEM cluster, the power issues were solved, my alternator started charging the battery normally, and we were in business. As much as I love that digital cluster and do have plans to get it reinstalled if we can figure out exactly what was causing that issue, for now, I'm much more content having power in my car. And while the original cluster may not look quite as modern or cool as the digital cluster did, I had to spice it up a little bit. So, you know, we got our blue gauges going on in there. So it does look pretty darn cool. Needless to say, I am extremely happy that I now have a car that I can drive for longer than 10 miles without worrying about the battery dying at this point. I do want to point out that this is by no means the fault of SOS Customs. They did the best they could with it, and it was a last-minute thing. I don't blame them at all for this. It's just something we're going to have to get figured out. But for now, we're good.